I want to go to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Stacey Cunningham, the president of the NYSE, joins me now. Stacey, thank you very much for being with us on a very important day. There's a great deal of talk about closing the stock market down for 2 or 3 days. What's your response to that?
I think closing the market would be the wrong response because it's important that investors have access to their money, and it's certainly not a long-term view. I think we're seeing a lot of volatility. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of volatility in the market right now. That's going to be how it's reflecting the anxiety and pressure that Americans are feeling more broadly and how that's sort of showing up in the market dynamics. I've had a lot of conversations over the past couple of weeks with government, federal, local and state officials. Everyone's looking and very focused on how they can make changes that will be helpful. So I think right now people need to focus on their safety and their health, and the long term, the markets will be a longer term correction. We'll address the issues in the markets longer term.
Stacey, I'm hearing a lot of talk about the difficulty of actually making the trade and establishing a price, that the bid and the ask are very far apart, and it's hard to come together on a price. That implies, and it's very technical stuff, but that implies the market is having problems functioning very efficiently and smoothly. Is that what you're seeing?
Not so much in the equity space. So single stocks are trading and operating as designed. Certainly prices are moving with markets more broadly. But where we're seeing less liquidity is in some of the other asset classes, like fixed income or treasuries. There are more dynamics there that are less typical.
I am seeing lots of people on the floor of the exchange. Okay, not as many as 20 or 30 years ago, but there's still a lot there. And they're rubbing shoulders with each other. They're in close proximity. Any thoughts on closing the floor of the exchange?
We have taken a number of precautions to limit the risk on the trading floor, limit the number of people coming into the building. This morning we set up outside additional screening. So there are medical professionals taking temperatures of every single person that walks into this building and screening them for any symptoms before they're in here. We've limited dramatically the number of people, and we've segregated them throughout the space so that there is less interaction and there is significantly more social distancing on the trading floor that there had been. If it got to a place where we needed to shut the floor, we could do that and trade fully electronically on the New York Stock Exchange. We're not considering doing that right now.
But you can do it.
Yes, we
can.
If
push comes to shove, you can do it.
Absolutely. We can trade fully electronically. We operate 5 different equity markets and 2 options markets. All of those markets, each individually on their own, have the ability to run fully electronically. We're not at the point where we're looking to leverage that right now.
Okay, Stacey, we do expect, thank you very much for spending time with us today. I know it's a very difficult situation for you, but we appreciate you being here with us today.
Yeah, I think what's really important for investors to understand is we will get through this and we'll get to the other side, not to try and trade these moments or panic during these moments. Wait for the markets to understand what's happening, and I think that's a really important thing for investors to do right now.
Okay, we'll resume trading around 9:45, we believe. Stacey Cunningham, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it very much.